A woman who has money doesn't need to flaunt it. But a woman who doesn't can easily lose her right to choose. It may sound uncomfortable, but it's a truth too important to ignore. Money isn't about luxury or vanity. It's about options, dignity, and safety. It's not what makes you strong, but it gives you the strength to walk away from what doesn't serve you. It lets you say no without fear. It allows you to protect your peace, your time, and your future. When a woman has financial freedom, she doesn't have to tolerate toxic jobs, unhealthy relationships, or environments that stifle her growth. She can choose differently, not out of desperation, but from a place of self-respect. That's why we need to reframe how we think about money. It's not materialistic. It's not superficial. It's personal. It's about taking responsibility for our lives and honoring our own worth. Because when you treat money with clarity and intention, you're not just building a bank account. You're building emotional security, mental freedom, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can take care of yourself, no matter what. Principle 1, always have an emergency fund that covers at least 6 months to 1 year of living expenses. Why is this important? Because life doesn't come with warnings. You might be doing well today, but all it takes is one unexpected moment, a job layoff, a breakup, a health crisis, a family emergency for everything to shift. When that happens, it's not strength or optimism that will carry you through first. It's stable. And financial stability begins with a solid emergency fund. An emergency fund gives you time. Time to breathe, to think clearly, and to choose what's best for you without being cornered by fear or urgency. It lets you walk away from toxic work environments, unsafe relationships, or simply take a break to recover your physical or mental health without worrying about how to pay rent next month. This isn't about luxury. It's about survival, about independence, about preserving your self-respect when things fall apart. And make no mistake, this fund is sacred. It is not for last-minute vacations, impulsive shopping, or treating yourself because you've had a rough week. It's your financial first aid kit only to be opened in true emergencies. Practical tip: start by dividing your fund into 3 buckets. Emergency, unexpected medical expenses, sudden job loss, etc. Fixed living expenses, rent, food, utilities, transportation. Self-reinvestment, essential upskilling or resources that help you recover and move forward after disruption. If your income is tight, don't get discouraged. Begin with just enough to cover 1 month, then build for 3 months, then 6, then a year. The point isn't how much you start with, it's that you start it all. Every dollar saved is a quiet vote for your future self. An emergency fund won't make your life perfect, but it will give you the power to navigate life on your terms. And that in itself is priceless. Principle 2, avoid debt and don't spend beyond your means. Why is this important? Because financial debt rarely stays just on paper. It creeps into your heart and mind. What starts as a simple credit card swipe or a casual loan from a friend can slowly grow into something that keeps you up at night. The stress of repayments, late fees, interest, and the constant mental math of how much do I still owe can wear you down emotionally. Over time, this kind of pressure chips away your confidence and freedom. In a world driven by social media and status symbols, many women feel subtle but powerful pressure to look the part. The curated images, the latest fashion, the trendy vacations. It's easy to fall into the trap of spending to be seen, rather than spending to live. But this illusion of luxury often comes at the cost of your future peace. Debt, especially when taken on for non-essential consumption, doesn't just cost you money. It costs you the ability to say no. It can tie you to jobs you hate, relationships you want to leave, or decisions you'd never make if you weren't financially trapped. A woman with a healthy financial mindset isn't influenced by what everyone else is doing. She doesn't buy something just because it's popular or because someone on Instagram has it. She buys with clarity. She knows her limits. She asks herself, do I truly need this? And can I comfortably afford it? And if the answer is no, she walks away without guilt. Practical suggestions. Keep your fixed monthly costs, rent, bills, food, etc., under 50% of your income. This gives you room to save, invest, and handle emergencies without panic. Avoid long-term installment plans or buying on credit for items that don't increase in value. A new phone, a designer bag, or luxury shoes may feel exciting, but if they come with months or years of repayment and no return on investment, they end up costing more than just money. Make exceptions only for essentials like education, professional tools, or housing things that support your growth, stability, or long-term well-being. Remember, debt is not always bad, but it should always be intentional. If it doesn't bring long-term value, empowerment, or peace, then it's not worth the price. True confidence doesn't come from having the newest or the flashiest. It comes from knowing that you are in control of your own life. And that control begins with how you spend. Principle 3. Don't be afraid to spend on your health. Why is this important? Because money lost can always be earned again, but your health, once compromised, is far harder to reclaim. As women, we often wear multiple hats: caregivers, professionals, partners, daughters, friends, and in the rush to take care of everyone else, we tend to place ourselves last. But the truth is this: you can't pour from an empty cup, and that cup is your health. A strong, healthy body is your most valuable asset. It allows you to work with energy, to think with clarity, to make smart decisions, and to show up as your best self. Without good health, even the most abundant bank account can't buy you the strength to enjoy life or the peace of mind to thrive. Yet, ironically, many women are quick to spend money on external appearances, makeup, skincare, fashion, but hesitate when it comes to spending on what truly sustains them: high-quality food, fitness, rest, or preventive health care. We treat self-care as an indulgence, when in fact it's a form of self-respect. Caring for your body isn't about vanity, it's about vitality. It's not about chasing a perfect figure. It's about honoring the body that carries you through every challenge and every success. It's about choosing to live not just longer, but better. When you invest in your health, you're not just preventing future illnesses, you're empowering yourself to live with strength, resilience, and joy. Practical suggestions: schedule regular health checkups at least once a year. Don't wait until something is wrong. Prevention is more powerful and more affordable than cure. Create a monthly budget for your physical and mental well-being. This can include gym memberships, yoga classes, therapy sessions, massages, or wellness retreats, whatever helps you maintain balance and strength. Eat for nourishment, not just convenience. Invest in fresh, nutritious foods that fuel your body and brain. Cooking at home, even simply, is one of the best long-term investments you can make. Move your body regularly. You don't need expensive equipment or hours at the gym. Just 30 minutes of movement a day can change your energy, focus, and mood. Walk, stretch, dance, run, do what you enjoy, but do it consistently. Prioritize rest and mental health. Sleep is not a luxury. Neither is peace of mind. Learn to say no, take breaks, and protect your emotional boundaries. A healthy life is also a peaceful one. Remember, looking good may bring compliments, but feeling good brings freedom. Health is the foundation of wealth. It's the quiet strength behind every success story, every brave decision, and every joyful moment. Take care of your body, not just so it can look good, but so it can carry you boldly into the life you deserve. Principle 4. Choose quality over quantity, especially when shopping. Because what you spend your money on reflects not just your taste, but your values. In a world that constantly pressures us to buy more, own more, and show more, it's easy to mistake quantity for success. But true financial wisdom lies in discernment, not in accumulation. High-quality items may cost more upfront, but they save you money, time, and stress in the long run. A well-made pair of shoes that lasts for years is ultimately far more economical than buying multiple cheaper ones that wear out quickly. Beyond the numbers, quality gives you comfort, reliability, and peace of mind. But this principle is about more than just durability. It's about identity. A woman who knows who she is doesn't need a closet overflowing with trends she doesn't wear. She doesn't chase every sale or feel the need to keep up with someone else's idea of enough. She defines her lifestyle based on what brings her value, not what gains her approval. Minimalism, in this sense, isn't about owning fewer things, it's about owning the right things. The things that truly serve you, reflect your style, and simplify your life. When you stop filling your space with clutter, you make room for clarity, financially, emotionally, and mentally. This mindset also helps reduce impulsive spending. You stop buying to feel better in the moment, and instead start making intentional choices that align with your long-term goals. Practical suggestions. Buy less, but choose better. Before purchasing anything, ask yourself, will I still love and use this 1 year from now? Does this add value to my life or just take up space? Am I buying this because I need it or because I'm feeling pressured or insecure? Create a short list of essentials. Know the difference between what you need, what you use, and what you think you should have. This helps reduce unnecessary spending and increases appreciation for what you already own. Invest in timeless items. Whether it's clothing, gadgets, or home items, opt for quality, durability, and versatility. These pieces often cost more upfront but outlast dozens of fast, cheap alternatives. Give yourself a 24-hour rule. If you're tempted to buy something non-essential, wait a day before making the purchase. Chances are, if it's not truly valuable, the impulse will fade. Declutter regularly. Letting go of unused or low-quality items helps you better understand your true preferences and prevents you from making the same mistakes again. Remember, you don't have to own more to feel like more. Elegance, confidence, and clarity often come from simplicity, not excess. Spend like someone who values herself, because you deserve not just beautiful things, but things that truly serve the beautiful life you're building. Principle 5. Invest in knowledge, skills, and personal growth. Why is this important? Because everything you own, your car, your phone, your clothes, can be lost, stolen, or become outdated. But what you've learned, how you think, and the person you've worked hard to become, those things stay with you for life. No one can take them away from you. Material wealth might open doors, but it's your inner wealth, your knowledge, wisdom, and skills that determine how far you go and how well you stay there. The more you know, the more confident and independent you become. When you invest in yourself, you're not just preparing for the job you have today. You're building a foundation that can support you in any future you choose. Whether it's navigating a career change, standing up for your worth, starting your own business, or making smarter life decisions, education and self-development give you options. This isn't about academic degrees or formal titles, it's about constantly growing. Learning how money works, how to communicate with confidence, how to manage your emotions, or how to understand people, these are life-changing skills. And they're especially important for women, because the world doesn't always make it easy for us to be assertive, informed, or in control. Women who continuously learn are harder to manipulate, quicker to adapt, and more likely to thrive in uncertain times. They're not waiting for someone to save them, they're equipping themselves to save their own futures. Practical suggestions. Commit to investing at least 10% of your monthly income into personal growth. This could be in the form of books, online classes, workshops, therapy, or even time carved out each week for self-reflection and learning. Prioritize high-impact skills. Think of skills that don't just look good on paper, but genuinely elevate your life, like personal finance and budgeting, emotional intelligence and self-regulation, public speaking and persuasive communication, conflict resolution and negotiation, leadership and decision-making, digital literacy and self-management tools. Treat your mind the way you treat your body. Just like a strong body requires consistent training and good fuel, a sharp mind requires constant nourishment. Read, ask questions, stay curious. Find mentors and communities that inspire growth. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking. Support your progress and model the kind of life you want to build. Create a personal curriculum. Make a list of things you wish you'd learned in school. How to invest, how to handle stress, how to communicate boundaries. then go and seek out that knowledge on your own. There's never been more access to free and affordable learning than there is now. Remember, every dollar you invest in your mind pays interest for the rest of your life. And every time you choose to learn, you're silently telling yourself, I am worth growing. I am worth knowing more. I am worth building. That is the kind of wealth no one can measure, but everyone will feel when they meet you. Conclusion: women don't earn money to compete with others, but to never lose to themselves. As women, we're often told to be kind, selfless, nurturing. And while those traits are powerful, they can sometimes come at the cost of our own needs, especially when we lack the financial means to choose differently. You don't need millions in the bank to live a good life, but you do need enough to not be afraid. Enough to walk away from a toxic job, a draining relationship, or an environment that no longer respects who you are. Enough to prioritize your health, invest in your growth, and take care of the people you love without feeling depleted or dependent. Because that's what real financial freedom is. It's not about showing off luxury. It's about owning your decisions. It's knowing you can take care of yourself when no one else shows up. It's being able to say no to what doesn't align with your values and yes to what makes your life meaningful. Money alone doesn't create happiness. But without a basic level of financial security, even the most beautiful intentions can become tangled in fear, guilt, or compromise. When you have control over your finances, you can love more freely because your love isn't rooted in fear of loss or lack. You can give generously because your cup is already full. And most importantly, you can live with integrity because you're not constantly making decisions out of desperation or survival. This is why learning how to manage your money, how to protect it, and how to grow it isn't just practical advice. It's self-respect in action. So build a life that lets you rest without anxiety, love without attachment, leave without breaking, and grow without limit. Because every woman deserves that kind of freedom. Suggested closing line: your bank account isn't just a number. It's a reflection of how deeply you've chosen to love and protect yourself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.